Hello friends, welcome to Oracle 26 AI new feature video series. In this video, we are going to learn about the new SQL data type, that is a Boolean data type introduced as part of 26 AI database. In fact, in the previous version also there was a partial support for Boolean data type, but it was only supported in PLSQL code, not as part of the SQL code. I'm just going to show an example in 21C database for a better understanding. Followed by that, we'll see an example in 26 AI to understand the SQL usage of Boolean data type. Okay, first let us understand what is this SQL Boolean data type support means. See, in 26 AI, we will be able to create a PLSQL variable as a Boolean data type, but not as a table column. We will not be able to create a table with column as a Boolean data type. So that is what I mean by SQL Boolean data type. If we try to create a table with a column as a Boolean data type in 21C, will get an error. However, this is what the new feature introduced in 26 AI database. Let us understand with an example now. So in left side of the window, I have connected to Oracle 21C database. In right side of the window, I have connected to Oracle 26 AI database. Okay. So if you can see here, I'm trying to create a table called T_Boolean_demo with two columns, and the data type we created as a Boolean data type. Same table I'm trying to create in the 26 AI also. Let me try to create this table. So in 21C, we'll get an error saying that invalid data type. In fact, this is the new feature which is supported from 26 AI database onwards. That means we'll be able to create a table with the table columns as a Boolean data type itself. Okay, in fact, in the previous version, there was a workaround generally we used to follow. Suppose if I want to store some Boolean related data, generally what we will do is we'll try to store that information as either a true or false, or yes or no, or yn, 1 for true and 0 for false, or on or off, or t or off, something like that. So generally this is how we create a table. That is, we create a table as a character column, and then we'll try to store these information as a character information. This is not a Boolean information in the previous version. Still we are storing as a character information, but we'll use this information as a Boolean values to do the functionality. However, starting from 26 AI onwards, we don't have to do. Okay, we'll see an example in 26 AI in a while, but before that I just want to quickly show you the support for PLSQL variable as a Boolean variable. Let me show you an example here. So here you can see a very simple PLSQL block. I've created a variable called v_is_active as a Boolean variable. So if this variable is true, then I'm just printing user is active. If the variable is false, I'm printing the user is inactive. Let me try to execute this PLSQL block. As expected, it is printing user is active and inactive as per the logic. In fact, this I'm showing you in the 21C database. That means in PLSQL, the Boolean variables are supported until the previous version, but it was not supported as a SQL data type. When I say SQL data type, again, we'll not be able to create a table as a Boolean column. Okay, now let me show you the same example in 26 AI also. So here also I'm trying to execute the same PLSQL block. Of course, it will be supported. Okay, with this, we'll quickly look into the documentation and we'll come back again here for 26 AI specific demo. So here is the quick documentation from 26 AI database. As you can see here, we'll be able to create a table with column followed by the data type as a Boolean or bool, which will try to store this information. One more very interesting thing is here we can directly insert the values like true, null or false value, whatever. And another thing is, rather than just a true or false, in fact, we can insert the same values, whatever we inserted as a string value in 21C version. Something like a true or t or 1, 0, f, anything. Depends on the value, automatically Oracle store it as a true or false value in the table. Let me quickly show you the demo. Now let me quickly show you the demo in 26 AI itself. See, here you can see I'm trying to create a table called T_Boolean. Let me first drop it. I'm creating a table. Here I'm trying to pass I'm creating three columns. One as a character column. So basically I'm just trying to insert what string value I'm trying to insert for the rest of the two columns. For example, here I'm trying to insert true and false. So here I'm inserting true, a string into this Boolean column. Same way a false into this Boolean column. Okay. Let me try to insert like a true or false, yes, no, yn or 1, 0, on, off, right? All these combinations. Let me populate this table. Now the table is populated. Let me query from the table. Now you can see here, irrespective of whatever the value we are passing, if it is a true or yes or one or on or off or whatever, internally Oracle will store as a Boolean value, as a true or a false value. Okay, so we don't have to change any of our existing code. If our existing code is using any of the string character set, it will be automatically inserted as a Boolean variable. Okay, now let me show you a few more examples to understand how to query this Boolean variable as part of our queries. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a table called questions, and I'm just going to populate few questions followed by the answer in a Boolean way. So here I'm trying to insert as a true as a character, true as a Boolean value, f, t, all these possible combinations. Let me insert the values into this table. Informations are inserted. Let me first query, like select star from the questions where answer is true. Obviously this will just filter and retrieve the questions wherever the answer is true. Very similar to answer is true, we can use answer equal to true also, or we can say equal to 1, or we can say answer is equal to yes, answer is not equal to no. In fact, all these combinations will return the question which has a true Boolean value stored. Very similar to this, we can in fact store the false value also, or retrieve the false value also. Let me query. So select star from the question where answer is false, or you can say answer equal to n, or answer equal to 0, or answer equal to 0 as a numeric value, answer equal to 0 as a string value, or you can say answer not equal to yes. In fact, all these queries will retrieve the question which has the false value for the Boolean answer column. Okay, one more very important thing is, so here is a very interesting thing. I'm saying that select star from question where answer not in true. When I say not in true, it will return the false. Okay, however, when you say answer is not true, actually these two queries look similar, but if you see, the result will not be the same. Not in true will just retrieve only the false value, whereas is not true will return false as well as null. So here also we need to treat the null very specific, very similar to our the numeric arithmetical operations, because even in arithmetical operation, if I try to do the null arithmetic operation, it will result in null. So here also we need to be very careful whenever there is a null value along with true and false value. Okay, so it is always better to use the is not rather than not in or equal to or not equal to. It's better to use the is not or is. Okay, let me show you another example where answer is not in true false. So here also it is not returning the true values, whereas when I say answer is null, so it is better to use is null or is not true or is true or is false, all these combinations. Okay, I hope you would have learned something new. If you would have learned something new, please like this video, subscribe and stay tuned for new future video, interview question, SQL practical and concept videos. And thanks a lot for watching this video. If you have any questions, you can post it in the comment section or you can drop to this mail ID. And thanks a lot for watching this video.